What is up, everyone? Please take a second and hit that like button. The more likes that we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come hang out with us and see what's going on. So please hit that like button. Let me know how you're doing. And happy freedom. What's up, Cheeky Chops? What's up, Lonely? What's up, Matthew? What's up, MD? Welcome to live. What's up, Base Senior? What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Adrian? What is up, everyone? What's up, WMM? Appreciate all you guys being here. Please share out the links, hit that like button, get everything racked up. I'm gonna check on all these chats really quick. It's kind of a slow day today. And what's up, Snooks? Happy freedom. What's up, everyone on Rumble? Oh, what the heck? I got this Eagle cam on. They just moved the camera off the Eagle. Like, what's the plan, guy? What's up, Wild Creek Vengeance? Happy freedom. Thanks for being here. Make sure you guys hit that plus button to boost the live over there on Rumble. Plus button to boost the live over there. What's up, everyone on Facebook? Okay. I don't know what the camera guy's doing here. There's supposed to be a big chicken nugget on the screen, but I don't know. They're moving the camera around. We're just going to be on this for a moment. Anyway, we're going to show Old Man Walter. And I think it's like 30 or 40 minutes long. It happened about an hour and 40 minutes ago or so. But we didn't really have much to cover for Coffee with Hooligans. So I figured we would just wait and show it here instead of covering it live. What's up, Bagpiper? Thanks for being here. What's up, Julia? What's up, Scott? What's up, Shadow Patriot? Look at all the green names. You guys are awesome. What's up, Red? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the camera guy. This is in Florida, I believe. Either way, we will just move forward. Let's start with the schedule, then we'll show Old Man Walter. So the plan is, besides checking out this chicken nugget whenever they put him on the screen, we're going to show Old Man Walter talking from Delaware in front of veterans at some sort of event. Then we're going to talk about Elon Musk having someone dox his location or where they thought he was. People stalking him or whatever. We're going to look into all that stuff. And that's pretty much it. There isn't anything from the White House today other than what we're going to cover here in just a moment. What's up, Cornish? We might flip to a different camera if the camera... I don't know if they got a toddler running the camera right now or what's going on. Either way. Chris Cola. No, he's not live anymore. It was like an hour ago. Well, it started like an hour ago. It may have just ended, but it started at noon, I believe. Actually, I can check really quick. Yeah, it started at noon. I think it just ended. Because they were live for like an hour and 10 minutes, even though it only lasted 40 minutes long. Because Old Man Walter can't show up on time. I shouldn't say anything. I was 30 minutes late today. A buddy of mine lost his job yesterday. So I had to go cheer him up. Went over and had a couple with him. Made sure he was all good. Things happen. It was his own doing, and he realizes it. I'm proud of him for owning up to it. But yeah, getting canned sucks. All right, Hooligans, let's move forward. All right, so we're going to get this started. This is Old Man Walter. Like I said, it's going to be about 40 minutes long. I have no idea. I haven't seen very much of it, just the beginning and the end of it. So I'm just excited to see it as you guys are. WMM, welcome to Michigan. That's pure Michigan. What's up, Louise? What's up, Shanti? All right. Put some ones in the chat if you hooligans are ready to get it started. Kenny, yep. Old man Walter, he's either getting wiped or woke up or pointed in the right direction because all he does is all the wrong things. What's up, Soul for Real? Happy freedom. What's up, Sam? What's up, Lone Wolf? What is up, everyone on Odyssey? I couldn't get into the Odyssey live until just right now. All right, let's get her started.
Prostitute.
Is it a clapping competition? Are they just like awkwardly clapping, or is it just me?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am Major General Mike Berry, the Adjutant General of the Delaware National Guard. It is a tremendous honor for me to welcome all of you to the Major Joseph R. Bo Biden III National Guard Reserve Center. It's been a pleasure to partner with the Wilmington Veterans Affairs Medical Center, not only today in hosting this PACT Act awareness event, but for the work
You
that
can
we
clap
are
for
doing
that.
together to prevent suicide among veterans and our military service members. Our partnership is essential to getting veterans the access to health care and benefits they rightfully deserve. There is a new call to action where we must work together and spread the message to all veterans about the Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson Honoring Our Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act. As members of our military deployed throughout the world in support of our nation, laws such as this are critical in the continuum of care that we are expected to provide on their behalf. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Dennis McDonough. Before coming to the VA, he served as the 26th White House Chief of Staff and as Principal Deputy National Security Advisor. He believes deeply, as he testified to Congress, that there is no more sacred obligation nor noble undertaking than to uphold our promises to our veterans, whether they came home decades ago or days ago. Please join me.
This guy's always got a shitty look on his face.
Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Dennis McDonough.
Very generous. Thank you. Mr. President, good afternoon and welcome home.
This guy's just towering over everyone.
And for your 3 decades of service and leadership, the Delaware Guard's been defending our freedom since long before our founding, whenever and wherever the country needs them. We saw that kind of devotion in the actions of Texas, Matt recognized
Remix.
with the Distinguished Flying Cross for his heroism
What a nightmare.
responding to the tragedy at the Karzai International Airport a year ago August.
What the
And
hell?
you're sending the 160th Engineer Company downrange come January to Kuwait. May God bless them. Keep them safe. It's an honor to be here in this building at one of the last of more than 100 events that we've been hosting at VA during the PACT Act Week of Action. To our veterans, their families, caregivers, and survivors, we're forever in your debt, And we're fighting like hell to serve you as well as you have served us. My boss, the president, won't accept anything less. And thanks to the PACT Act that President Biden signed on August 10th, VA's expanded health care and benefits for millions of vets and their survivors is now real, including for so many of you in this building today. If you or a loved one served in the Vietnam era, the Gulf War era, or the post-9/11 era, you may be eligible for new or increased care and benefits because of the PACT Act. And here's what you need to know. First, apply for your benefits right now. Right now. If you're enrolled in VA care already, get a quick and easy toxic exposure screening. If you're not enrolled, get enrolled, and we'll help you do that right here today. If you haven't yet applied for your PACT Act benefits, apply. You can do all that here today in this building, or you can call the Delaware Office of Veteran Services at 302-739-2792, or make an appointment with
That was the Mike Jones number.
302-994-2511, extension 4845. Second, VA will begin processing PACT Act claims on January 1st at the President's direction. That's the earliest date possible. And if you apply for PACT Act-related benefits before August 10th next year, then your benefits will be backdated to August 10th, 2022, meaning you will be paid back to August 10, 2022, the day President Biden signed that bill into law.
Thank you so much, IB4, for gifting 5 memberships over here on YouTube. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Third, I know, because I've heard, that some vets are worried that applying for PACT Act benefits will impact their current benefits. The truth is the following. With the PACT Act, you are 32 times more likely to have your benefits increase than decrease. So please file your claims. Fourth, there's some people out there who fear that they need a lawyer or they need to pay somebody to apply for your VA benefits. We don't tolerate that. President Biden will not tolerate that. Applying for your PACT Act benefits is free, it's easy, and by working directly with VA or with a Delaware State Veteran Service Organization or your county veteran service officer, you can get exactly what you need. Fifth, to learn more about the PACT Act, apply anytime at va.gov.
Edward, yes, I did. Thank you so much for the donation through Cash App. I appreciate you. Thank you.
411. Join the nearly 190,000 veterans and survivors who have already signed up for their benefits since the president signed that law. Whenever somebody signs up to serve our country in the military, we have what the president calls a sacred obligation to them and their families. We make them a promise. If you fight for us, we'll fight for you. If you take care of us, we'll take care of you. If you serve us, we'll serve you when you come home. Our nation as a whole makes that promise, but it's our mission here in Delaware and across the country to keep that promise to all veterans, their families, their caregivers, and survivors. The PACT Act will help us keep that promise, and President Biden is leading the way in keeping that promise. And we will not rest until every single veteran and survivor knows about this new law, understands what it means for them, and gets the care and benefits they've earned. That's what our country owes you. And that's what we will deliver to you. With that, it's my privilege to introduce someone who doesn't need a lot of introduction around these parts. Senator,
That's only because you can smell them before you can see them.
the last serving Vietnam veteran in the United States Senate.
Oh, I thought you were talking about old man Walter.
He's given more than 40 years of devoted service and strong leadership to improving veterans' health care and services here in Delaware and across the country. Please join me in welcoming 23-year veteran of the United States Navy and Naval Reserves, Captain and Senator Tom Carper.
Thank you so much, Snooks, for gifting 10 memberships over on YouTube. You guys are outdoing yourselves today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Undecided, for the $14 donation. You're awesome. Thank you.
Dennis, it's great to welcome you back to Delaware. Thank you so much for your leadership and for all you're doing. And I just want to say to the president, you couldn't have picked a better guy or gal for this job. So thank you. Thank you for that. Chris and I got to vote for it, got to confirm it. Easiest nomination vote we had all year. Easiest one. Well, I'm delighted to be here with our Commander-in-Chief of the state of Delaware, John Carney. And go ahead. My wingman in the United States Senate, the Honorable Chris Coons. And if you're wondering, is there an honorable wing woman over in the House of Representatives? There sure is. And her name is Lisa Blunt Rochester.
Kind of sounds like he's raffling off cattle.
Is not the governor of Delaware, it's his wife, who's also a general up in Connecticut for the National Guard. Great to be with you, General Barry.
He speaks very quickly.
Pleased to be able to welcome home. Especially pleased to be able to welcome home our friend, the President of the United States, Delaware's own Joe Biden. Woo! Many of you probably heard the expression, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, is there really a noise? Think about that. If a tree falls in the forest, there's no one there to hear it, is there really a noise? A similar question can be asked here today. The bill is enacted that provides life-saving new health benefits for veterans, but none of them know that it exists. Do veterans and their families really?
So he can slow it down a little bit. He was performing Rap God by Eminem for a second there. Thank you so much, IB4, for gifting 5 memberships over on YouTube. You're awesome. Thank you.
Right to the point. This new law and these new benefits will only be game changers. Will only be game changers if we, working together, get the word out about the PACT Act from sea to shining sea to our veterans, to their families here in Delaware and across the nation, and sign up for health care benefits that they've earned through their service. That's the key. The PACT Act, which Senator Coons and I, Congresswoman Blunt Rochester, and I were proud to support earlier this year, along with bipartisan majority of our colleagues in the House and the Senate, will expand access to VA health care for upwards of, listen to this, 3.5 million post-9/11 veterans, many of whom were exposed to toxic burn pits in Iraq and Afghanistan and other conflict zones around the world. To put it bluntly, this bill is going to save lives, a lot of them. I've often heard our president say, and I'm sure our congressional delegation has as well, all politics is personal, and he adds to that all diplomacy is personal. For him and for me, the issues before us today are deeply personal ones. My father and most of my uncles served in uniform in World War II. One of them also served in Korea. My grandmother was a Gold Star mother. My mom's youngest brother...
Type what you think old man Walter is thinking right now in the chat. He's got that 1,000-mile stare in his face.
In a kamikaze attack in the Western Pacific on his aircraft carrier, the USS Swanee. His body was never...
Looks like he's trying to figure out basic math or something.
To my office at 513 Hart, you walk into my personal office. There's a huge picture of him on the wall in his Navy dress blues. He's just made he's a third-class petty officer. He just made third class. Great picture of him. And I'm reminded of him every day I walk into my office when I see his smiling face of his sacrifice and the sacrifice.
I'd be for nap time for Uncle Whispers. Oh, did he just nod off right there? He might be gone. Might be gone. Someone go tap old man Walter. Make sure he's still ticking.
Did so, as Dennis has said, for 5 years as a naval flight officer during the Vietnam War. After my time on active duty ended, I took a new commission with the Naval Reserve, wound up flying with the Navy P-3 Squadron out of Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, just not too far from where Jill Biden grew up. And people say, what is a P3? We use from low-level missions off the coast of Vietnam, about 200 feet off the water for 3.
He's sitting here listening to the speaker, and he's like, man, I can hardly understand this guy. Because he always thinks he's doing better than everybody else.
But in any event,
Old man Walter.
I did love doing it.
Totally delusional. Shoes made of skin from children.
Actually, the opportunity to use the GI Bill to attend graduate school, to get an MBA at the University of Delaware, that brought me to the first state. And when I arrived here, I wanted to find out what VA benefits and resources were available to me and, frankly, to other Vietnam veterans. During my very first week, I remember leaving class at Purnell Hall, got in my Volkswagen Carmen Ghia with a rebuilt engine, and drove up Crookwood Highway to all the way to Ellesmere. And that's where I walked into the VA hospital. It was a World War II relic.
Look at his face. Look at old man Walter.
Underfunded.
Like he can't stand this guy.
Investment in modernization. Staff morale, to be honest with you, was low. And the quality of care left a lot to be desired. The young dentist who provided care for me urged me to find care somewhere else as soon as I could. In the years following that first visit, I became ever more determined to help transform the VA hospital in Delaware and, frankly, other VA hospitals around the country into more welcoming places where high-quality health care was the rule, and not the exception. Today, in no small part because of the efforts of our congressional delegation, led by then Senator Joe Biden, the Wilmington VA Hospital is no longer a World War II relic. It's a world-class.
This guy right here looks like he can't stand the smell of old man Walter. He's like all red in the face, like he's holding his breath. What's up, Shepherd Shep? This guy's Speedy Gonzalez. He's a quick talker. Adrian, last time I took my son back to college in 2019, he nailed every word of Rap God while we were driving. That's awesome. I totally can't do that.
And that they deserve. Community-based outpatient clinics in central and southern Delaware now serve hundreds of veterans every week. And earlier this year, a veterans home in Milford, Delaware, began offering dental care to the veterans who live there and some other veterans who live in the surrounding area. This issue of access to quality health care for our veterans is personal for our presidents, it's personal for our First Lady, and it's deeply personal for me as well. Many of those from our generation who served in the Vietnam War were exposed to Agent Orange and ultimately became ill.
Old man Walter, don't pick your nose on live TV.
Congress,
My sister always gets on me for that.
our congressional delegation led by then
Watch her hop in the chat now.
passed the Agent Orange Act to provide care for the hundreds of thousands of Vietnam veterans who were exposed to that toxic herbicide in Southeast Asia. I believe that many of us would agree that it took too long, far too long, for that bill to be enacted. But finally, Congress did the right thing. And Congress has done the right thing again this time as well for post-9/11 generation of veterans with the enactment of the PACT Act. I'm going to be really blunt with you. That would not have happened without President Biden's leadership and his clarion call earlier this year in State of the Union for Congress to care for those who have borne the battle and suffered because of their exposure to toxic burn pit. His leadership was the key. The military, they teach us train us early on about leadership. And it's something I've thought a lot about in my life, and I know others here have as well. But leaders have the courage to stay out of step when everyone else is
He looks lost. Mouth open, staring off. Old man Walter's lost right now.
to our better angels. Leaders restore hope and make sure that those who need help, those who deserve help, learn how they can access that help and change their lives for the better. And with that, I'm honored to introduce to all of you a purveyor of hope. Think of that, a purveyor of hope. The leader for our country, a Delawarean who obviously needs no introduction. He's the 46th President of the United States. He's our friend.
Shouldn't have to reassure us of that.
Is Joe Biden.
What's up, Speedy girl? It'll get better. Don't you worry. I was noticing that too. The fastest speaker is the longest winded. Yeah, it must, synergy and whatnot. God has a plan. What is old man Walter's tie? Is that some Hitler stuff?
Thank you. Please sit. I always call calling Senator Carper Tommy for 40 years, and I call him Tommy. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about my buddy, a dear friend, a combat veteran, a guy who serving in the Senate, and he gets it. He gets it. And that's why he's hosted events like this for decades as a U.S. Senator, and before that, as Congressman. I also want to thank Chris Coons. I'm going to use this mic if I can.
Edward, when Snooks gift subs, I can click on it and claim one. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I've never been on that end of how it works, so thank you for letting me know.
Doing a hell of a job, pal. But I've only one regret. He used to work for me. He left and became governor. What the hell? I mean. And General Berry,
Those Molly Ranchers are kicking in.
so much to me for, and I must tell you, I ride by this building a lot, getting Air Force One to fly back and forth to Washington and wherever I'm going, and it always leaves me with a little bit of a lump in my throat. My wife's last warning today, when she's still in Washington, where there's 1,200 people showing up at the White House beginning noon, and they're going to be a little late. But she said, "Joe, don't get emotional." Not that I ever get emotional, but it means so much to me, and it meant so much to Bo. Frank Vavala is Bo's Adjutant General and a great friend, and I want to thank General Vavala as well. And what I want to do, there's a guy here that flew 25 missions. 25 missions in World War II over Germany. First lieutenant, young guy, 102 years old. Ray, and guess what? He lives in Ellesmere. And my claim to fame is I used to be his county councilman. Ray, thanks for being here, pal. You're the best. You're the best. Thank you. I may be Irish, but I'm not stupid. I married Dominic Giacoppa's daughter, so, I got a little Italian in me now, But it is remarkable, Ray. Flew 25 B-17 bombing runs during World War II, and I might add, won the Distinguished Flying Cross. Ray, you were part of the, was referred to as the greatest generation. But there's no generation in American history more than this present and recently past generation that have been deployed more, have given more than the generation represented by the people we're going to be looking at and honoring today. Nobody has been in a situation where they show up for their one deployment, then 2 and 3 and 4, and sometimes 5 and 6. One of the last times I flew into Iraq, I went up in the cockpit, and they fire me with what's called a silver bullet when they fire the president, and there's a special container in the plane they stick in. And I went up with a group, and I was telling this to Bo's father-in-law and my grade school friend, who's sitting right there. And he's taping it all.
He's like just above grunting into the microphone. Barely legible words coming out.
Deployment. Nobody raised their hand. And the crew was in there as well, the flight crew.
He could stick that whole mic down his throat and he would still sound like he's whispering into it.
3rd, 3, 4th, 2, 5th, 4. Doesn't happen very often. And these kids kept getting back up 1%.
Thank you so much, Snooks, for gifting another 5 memberships on YouTube. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Awesome. Thank you.
That doesn't take a single thing away from the World War II veterans generation, but I want to tell you, it is it doesn't go noticed enough. How many of you who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan and all through these last wars we've had, how many of you mothers and wives and sons and daughters sat at that empty birthday, saw that empty chair at the birthday party? And the difference is, a lot of you, my generation, on December 7th, that we celebrated the bravery of all the.
He just huffed into the mic.
On the Finnegan side of the family, 4 brothers, every single one volunteered the very next day on Monday to join. My uncle, Frank Biden, joined.
Look at that face. His diapers just got him in toxic gas. He feels like a protester outside of the federal building in Portland right now. He needs a gas mask on and some flags in the streets.
Doesn't look for accolades. You know, my dad, when I got elected vice president, he said, "Joey, Uncle Frank fought in the Battle of the Bulge."
I'm going to grab some more coffee. Just 1 second.
Not because of the Battle of the Bulge, but he said, and he won the Purple Heart. And he never received it. He never got it. Do you think you could help him get it? We'll surprise him. So I got him the Purple Heart. He had won it in the Battle of the Bulge. And I remember he came over to the house, and I came out, and he said, present it to him. Okay, we had the family there. I said, Uncle Frank, you won this, and I went to him. He said, I don't want the damn thing. I'm serious. He said, I don't want it. I said, what's the matter, Uncle Frank? You earned it. He said, yeah, but the others died. The others died. I lived. I don't want it. So it's like a generation, this generation, in Vietnam, in Iraq. I was up on one of the points, and they asked the CO asked me if I would pin on a silver star, because a young man on one of these points has one of his colleagues shot, fell down about, I guess, equivalent. I was out there at the point. And it was.
What's he doing? Wandering around?
Not straight down, but a hill. And this young man climbed down the hill, put a guy on his shoulder, and brought him back up. And was shot at on the way up. And he got there, and I went to present it to him too, and he said, I don't want it. I don't want it. He died. He died. You understand what I'm talking about, don't you? It's real.
What are you saying, old man Walter?
Men who are enormously consequential to not only the physical safety of this country, but the character of America. It's who we are. It's who we are. You're the blood, bone, sinew. You're the backbone of America. And you know, we have
He said he was blooding. He's gangbanging.
We have a lot of obligations as Americans. We only have one sacred obligation. Obligations of the old and the young to educate, to take care, but only one sacred obligation. Let's prepare those we send to war.
Thank you so much, Red, for gifting 50 memberships on YouTube. I don't even know if we have enough people to claim them. If you hooligans are not already official, you can click the gift box at the top of the chat to claim a membership. Thank you so much, Red. I hope you hooligans are thanking Red, IB4, and Snooks for gifting subs, not just today, but over the last few days, and making all of you guys official. I hope you guys are thanking them for that, because that's a big deal. Like, that's a new feature, and for them to take advantage of it is so amazing. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, but Aaron, get a phone call. My husband, my son, my daughter is really in trouble. She got to come in. Got to see her. Well, she'll be able to come in 10 days or 2 weeks. More people have died from suicide than any other.
You're going to get my video flagged. Stop saying that stuff, old man Walter. Jesus loves us.
So I called Dennis and said, can we fix this, pal? That was the start. We increased the federal budget larger than it's ever been increased 2 years in a row for the VA because we owe it.
Yeah, Edward. I figured that's how it worked.
We've reached out to docs nurses, specialized surgeons to come in to the VA, expand the expertise. There are good people there. They're all good people. But to increase it. And I think we're making progress. I think we're making genuine progress. And, you know, I think that there's I've been in and out, not as obviously combatant, but in and out of Afghanistan, Iraq, and these areas 38, 39 times. Not as president, only twice as president, but
Manuel, you can't buy the membership through PayPal. It sounds like you sent a donation. In order to join the membership program, you have to click the join button or go through the link tree and find the YouTube membership on the link tree. And it goes through PayPal, it doesn't go through me. Or PayPal, it goes through YouTube, it doesn't go through me.
High as 12 feet deep, the size of a football field, a great big rectangle. And every damn ugly thing in the world is burned in it. Everything. Everything. Toxic waste, everything. And I'm no doctor, but it's pretty clear a lot of guys and women getting sick. And so, you know, one of the things is these poisonous chemicals, jet fuel, and some places, some other things I won't mention. The toxic smoke, stick with poison, spreading into the air into the lungs of our troops. And many of them, when they came home, had gone the best trained, fittest warriors in the world and came home with headaches, numbness, dizziness.
Thank you so much, Frosted Sleep, for the $5 donation. I appreciate you. Thank you.
How I collapsed on a run. Well, you know, both father-in-laws, as I said, Ronnie Oliver, my friend, is here. So are several members of the Guard who served with Bo in Iraq. This is personal to them, and it's personal to
Ohio Kyle, yeah. Going through them individually would take a minute. When they renew, and if they renew, then we'll do the individual shout-outs. That's the plan.
We're determined to do something about this, come hell or high water. And
Thank you so much, Big Fella, for gifting 10 memberships over on YouTube. You're awesome. Thank you. We can almost just turn on members-only chat. All these green names in here. The community's growing so quickly. Thank you, guys.
John Stewart made a gigantic difference. And Dennis and others and I went to on the Capitol steps with groups, and maybe some of you were part of that. Thank you. And you were there, you stayed there, and you insisted that they vote on it because some of our friends were not willing to do that.
He's indoors squinting.
But you insisted. And finally, you know.
He sounds like he's mad at everybody there.
As part of my agenda that I announced in my State of the Union message, to rally the country together. I mentioned 4 things. I said, number one, I tried to find things that everyone could agree on in a nonpartisan way that were critical. 1 was dealing with the opioid epidemic in America. 2 was tackling the mental health crisis, which is real in America. 3 was ending cancer as we know it, because we're making significant progress and investing billions of dollars now to find cures. And thirdly was support our veterans, because the need was great and the number was in the billions. Well, I delivered that speech in March. In August of this year, the Bipartisan PACT Act was on my desk to sign into law. And it's one of the most significant laws in our history to help millions of veterans who are exposed to toxic substances during their military service. And you know, and it got done because veterans and families, some of the families here, rallied the nation, rallied the country to get it done. After I signed the bill, some of you may have seen the picture because we played on television a lot, I handed the pen over to the widow of the child, Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson. Beautiful little girl. Usually you hand the pen you sign with to the lead sponsor of the bill. And I handed it to her. And she held it and looked at she.
They gave him the good stuff today. He's just going on and on. I told you that Molly Rancher was kicking in.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, that family suffered a great loss, but turned their pain into purpose, so other families wouldn't have to experience the same thing. And that's courage. That's character, in my view. And that's who we are. That's what defines us. We're the most unique nation in the history of the world, because we're the only one that are a product of an idea, not geography, not religion, not ethnicity, an idea. We, the people, hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women, we've never fully lived up to it, but we've never walked away from it. And the people who's protected the most are you people sitting in front of me. You know, we learned a horrible lesson after Vietnam, how the harmful effects of Agent Orange. And a new generation understandably doesn't focus on that very much. But you know the biggest problem with Agent Orange? It dropped on a hell of a lot of people's heads. They got all kinds of illnesses, but they couldn't prove it. You had to be able to prove it. You had to have the scientific background to be able to dig in and prove it.
Come on, man.
And because of Tommy and because of others we're serving with at the time, we insisted that you don't. All you have to do is prove you were impacted by it. Landed on your head, figuratively. No, I'm serious. Nothing else to prove. Nothing else to prove. Because why should the burden be on the victim to demonstrate the problems they've suffered since then?
What the
because of
hell?
that Agent Orange, when other people weren't suffering those things. So, folks, that's why you heard me say earlier that, you know, when Tom and I supported the Agent Orange Act, that was hard to believe, Tommy. That's 1991. You're getting old, man. I don't know.
He's burning out right here on live TV.
Substances like we saw in Vietnam. Now the PACT Act brings us one closer to fulfilling that sacred obligation. It empowers the VA to move more quickly to determine if a veteran qualifies for the benefits of the law. And the benefits are real. They're real benefits. Like exposure screenings. If you came back and
It's so awesome to see that up in the corner, just membership after membership rolling. That's so awesome.
New research, more healthcare workers at VA hospitals. And for families who suffer the ultimate loss, it means potential access to life insurance, tuition benefits, home loan assistance, monthly stipends. And it's real. It's not small. It's what we should be doing. It says that, for example, if you're a spouse of a surviving veteran a veteran who died from a toxic illness with 2 children, you could be eligible for $2,000 a month to help with those children. It'll never make up for the piece of the soul you lost, but it is important, those kids. I was talking to someone a little bit earlier without naming them, and, you know, there's tuition benefits. If, in fact, you go to a state university, your child, the child of someone who's died, then you get free state tuition. If you go to a private university, you get up to $26,000 a year. It matters. You qualify for VA home loans. And just the bottom line is, you all know it, many of you know it, many of you are victims of it. When you lose one of the breadwinners, it leaves a gigantic hole.
See, Bravo, 2 more years of this.
Because they served all of us.
That's hard to digest. Can you imagine what old man Walter's gonna sound like in 2 years up here giving speeches and stuff like this? I don't know. It'll be tough.
Sure that we leave no one behind. We also need to pass the
I think they're just gonna make Jill speak on his behalf when he gets real bad.
promise. There's a little bit of anyway, you hear it in the press. I wanted to come here today, but I got to go back quickly today to sign a few pieces of legislation. But during this PAC Act week of action, to spread the word that every veteran or surviving family member knows how access to these benefits are made possible. The law, and because of these conditions, have already taken such a toll on so many veterans. I have directed the Department of Veterans Affairs to treat all 23 all 23 of the presumptive conditions in this law as applicable immediately. I'm urging all veterans of these decades of war to enroll in the VA health care to get screening for toxic exposure and to promptly file your claim. And for those who may be watching at home because the press is here, visit va.gov/PACT, P-A-C-T, va.gov/PACT, P-A-C-T. And like you heard from Secretary McDonough, the VA will move as quickly as possible to resolve your claim and to get you the benefits you've earned. Here at the Beau Biden National Guard Reserve Center.
That would be awesome, Shepherd Shep. Send me an email and we can come up with some ideas. That'd be super awesome.
Office is an appropriate place from my perspective and Jill's to be able to continue to push for implementation of this PACT Act. And there's no place I'd rather be today to get the message out about the PACT Act than home here and here in this particular facility. God bless you all. And may God protect our troops. Thank you.
I wonder if he thinks he sounds like the Godfather.
Thank you.
It looked like he put down one mic and picked up another one.
Here, a plane flying over this facility. It's me and Air Force One. I've got to go down. I've got to sign the first piece of legislation that's got to pass. I'm supposed to do that about 2 o'clock. And anybody who wants to come to Washington, me, jump on. We're good. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank all of you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, just a moment. Yeah, they cut the mic on him. So we got some live cats on the screen. I figured why not? The eagle cam is still all over the place. The owls are hanging out, but I figured we'd switch it up. Down there is the actual source for the live if you'd like to go and see these kitties for yourself. These are not my cats. These are somebody else's cats, but it is live. Before, do we need more subs? Why do we not have enough people in the chat to claim all the YouTube memberships? I'm not sure how all of that works. Make sure you guys hit the like button and share out the links and stuff if we don't have enough people to pull the gifted memberships. Hitting that like button and sharing everything out will help bring new people into the chat. We're not done yet. Big fella, no. As far as I know, Kareen is not live. That was the only White House live. I'm going to check the White House right now because they're always updating the schedule. Nope, that was it. That was it. There's no Kareen today. Today's Friday, so we're probably not going to see her any other White House until Monday, which is all right. Edward, make a leather keychain kind of like a BMW one. Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool, actually. That's a good idea. What's up, Ocean Frog? Look at all the green names. It's so awesome. Just reading through the chat really quick before we move forward. Yeah, if you do not have, if you're not on the YouTube membership and you're in the chat, I believe you can click on the gift box at the top and it will gift you one of those memberships that Red has sitting up there. Happy Freedom Justin, thank you for being here. Cool guy, Twitter is melting down. Yeah, Twitter is something to keep your eye on. It is very active 24 hours a day. What's up, Damon Walker? Yeah, 2 cats. Oh, Klaus Danielson, he's sitting here. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's taking a nap. He's got his little toes hanging off here. They'll just bother him. Just, you know, get him all riled up and stuff. Can't sleep during the day, bud. Get up. Good job. Runs due. Lazy cat. All right, let's move forward. Alright, hooligans. So this is on Twitter. This is Elon Musk. I'm not sure exactly the post he was responding to. It's been deleted, it appears. And it says, last night, car carrying little X in LA was followed by crazy stalker, thinking it was Elon in the car, who later blocked the car from moving and climbed onto the hood. Legal action will be taken against these people who supported harm to the family. And then he posts this video here, which is going to loop in a second. I don't think it's him approaching this vehicle. I think it's someone else, according to the reflection in the window right there. But this, I don't know. He thinks this, either this car is the person that did it or they believe it is. But either way, Elon feels he has a stalker. He went on later to say, if anyone posted real-time location and addresses of New York Times reporters, FBI would be investigating. There'd be hearings on the Capitol Hill, and Biden would give speeches about end of democracy. And I think that's hilarious, because that is totally the kind of stuff that we see and hear and talk about when we cover the press briefings and stuff like that. We need to send Elon a Hooligan shirt or something, because it sounds like he's kind of calling him out here, and I think that's sounds pretty true to me. You know, anytime a lefty or something has a hard day, we got to hear about the end of democracy or whatever they think is happening. And I think it's funny that Elon's calling it out. Snooks, where can chat claim memberships, please? I believe at the top of the chat where you can see the gift box, you can see that Red's name's up there. I believe all they have to do is click that and they can redeem a membership. I think that's all it takes. What's up, Craig? And then lastly, I came across this tweet. And soon, ladies and gentlemen, the coup de grace, or however you say that, you know, I'm an American, I can say I want to. Like Wednesday. Anyways, a lot of people are speculating what is this, right? There's people even posting like the definition, and they think it's going to be the final blow for the Twitter files. And so I'm not going to show the trending stuff that is on that side of the screen because there's red words in there I can't show on YouTube, but there is people speculating what they think these files are going to be. I don't know if you can see there's Epstein Island at the top there. There's other ones listed below it, but people are speculating something big's going to drop for the next Twitter files. But just like the last 4 or 5 Twitter files that we've covered together, we already know most of this information. They're just kind of validating it. But what's going to be done about it? That's what matters to me. What is going to be done about it? We know that everybody's corrupt. We know all the, bad stuff going on. We know that. Thanks for confirming it, but what's going to happen now? Is anybody going to, go in and lay down the law? Because as of right now, that hasn't happened. No accountability at all for anyone. Amy, I don't see Red's name anywhere. You don't see a green bubble at the top of the chat? See, I can't never tell because on my end, it may look different than on your guys' end. On my end, I see a green bubble at the top with like a little gift box on it and it says 50 next to it. Edward, Elon's jet's real identity is masked and someone unmasked it then published it. Yeah. Yeah, I seen him talking about it, saying that the only way his flight files could be, or whatever, his flight logs or whatever could be tracked is by using software and hardware, that it's not public information. And that's what is upsetting to him about it. Is it would be different if it was just public information being posted that's already available to the public, but for someone to buy a device and then track him and then post the location is what he feels is a problem. And he seems to be openly kind of having like an open discussion on what he believes the policy should be for punishment for doxing on Twitter. And he even mentions if the log is delayed, then that would be okay. But if you're doxing someone's location and there's a child on the scene, like potentially a minor in danger, what should the punishment be? And if that location is delayed and not ran in actual time, that maybe it would be more lenient of a situation. But it's a weird world we have to live in right now. And all of this comes back down to not being able to punch each other in the face. That's what I feel like. Like we were talking about the other day, we need to make punching people in the face great again, because people wouldn't talk to each other so crazy if they thought you were going to get punched in the mouth for it. If every time you open your mouth sideways, you thought you were going to get punched in it, you'd stop talking like that. And I kind of feel like doxing people and stuff would go the same way. You wouldn't want to put somebody's personal information out there in like a nasty way, right? Like if somebody's doing something wrong and you're trying to raise awareness, that's one thing. But if somebody's not doing something wrong and you're just putting somebody's private information up there hoping something bad happens to them, that should absolutely be a crime. And if you thought something bad was going to come your way because you did that, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be out here putting people's kids at risk and stuff like that. You wouldn't even consider it. Just like swatting or whatever that people do, where they call the police and say, oh, this person is doing terrible things, and then the police come and raid your house. And a lot of times the person getting raided is live. They're either live like I am right now, or they're live playing the game. They're playing Black Ops or something like that, GTA, and all of a sudden the house gets raided. You can hear it over the mic. Everybody thinks it's hilarious. If somebody could find you and put you in your place with some retaliation, you would not even consider doing that. You'd be like, oh my goodness, if they could find me. Like, I think it started with prank calling, I swear. You wouldn't have started off making prank calls as a kid if you thought that person could find you and put their hands on you. So we need to make punching people in the face great again. We need to shorten that phrase up. It doesn't roll off the tongue like MAGA, but we need to reinforce some structure in society again. When I was younger, if I looked over at my grandma and I swore at her, a stranger out of line would come flying Superman, slap me across the face to straighten me out, make sure I never talk to my grandma like that again. I don't know. People said that was wrong, but I tell you what, I never talked to my grandma like that again. You get slapped in Walmart in front of everybody, and you see people like snickering at you, and you're just sitting there trying not to cry. You got hit so hard you can't even cry. You just doing that kind of stuff. Yes, sir. Straighten you right up. That's that attitude adjustment. We need to bring that back. I don't know. Otherwise, your kids grow up to be like Antifa. They're either on the outside of the drag show or they're indoors for the drag show. That's what happens. You gotta hold people accountable, whether they're young or old. Accountability has to happen. What's up, DK? Happy freedom. Made it through another week. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I-B4, how many members still waiting? I don't know. I'm not able to tell. When I click on it, it just says that Red gifted 50 memberships, so I'm not sure. According to the bar, it's over half lit up, so I'm assuming there's 20-something memberships probably still to be claimed, if that's an accurate meter. Amy, I hit accept gifts and nothing happened. It may be delayed because I think we had like 60 gifted memberships back to back. It may be delayed. I'm not sure. It's a new feature. So I'm not quite sure how it works. The big fella got hit with wooden spoons and brushes and belts and all types of stuff, and I acted right. Yep. My grandma used to come at me with the yardstick. Last time I talked about this, everybody got all mad. They're like, beating kids is wrong. Yeah, you shouldn't abuse anyone, but you should discipline your kids. And the reason I say that is not just because it's good for them, but because if you don't if you do not discipline your kids, then they grow up to be adults, and then you got to let the police discipline them. You got to let inmates in their cell when they go to jail discipline them. You got to let the streets and the world and everything discipline them as an adult when they're stuck in their ways and they think they know everything, and life's a lot harder. So, you know, when little Timmy's talking back, you tell him no means no, and put his little ass in the car. Sorry, you're not getting a snack, bud. You've been acting up. And hold the standard. You got to, because we cannot have another generation of Antifa, because those people, they just bite their ears so hard on camera and they think they are right. And that influence on young minds is not good. It's not good. No mandates. If you don't slap them, the prison will slap them and they won't be nice about it. Exactly. Not condoning abusing anybody. Discipline and accountability, we're lacking it. We need to bring it back. We need to make it great again. The DK, my dad would let a random person beat my ass if I ever acted like that. Yeah. Yep. It's a true story. You didn't act up if you thought you were going to get your teeth knocked out. Thanks so much, DK, for continuing the membership program for 1 month. You're officially a hooligan. I appreciate you. Thank you. Edward, once the membership is claimed, it takes a few minutes. All right. Thank you for letting me know. Annette bought a coffee. Yeah, my coffee app does not send me notifications very quickly. It takes a long time. So I end up making these shout outs on social media and stuff because it never tells me. Yeah, like there's no notification. But I see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. You're awesome. Thank you, Annette. Yeah, Damon Walker. I mean, I think in Texas, I was just talking with my friend about this yesterday. I think in Texas you can have mutual combat. If you and somebody else is mixing it up and you're going to have to throw some hands to settle this, you can have an officer present, let them know both of you agree, and he will stand there and make sure everything's fair. And you fight until you call it or the other person is unable to defend themselves. And that's that. I think that should be a federal law. I think it should be a federal law because sometimes, you know, people just want you to put hands on them. I don't want it to be this way. But, you know, the world is the way it is. It is the way it is. I wish it was a nicer place, but sometimes people want you to punch them in the mouth. And you should be able to at least one time if it's totally called for in some form of a legal matter. Like here in Michigan, there's no self-defense. You come up and punch me in the mouth, I can't even punch you back because if I do, we're both going to jail for assault. And I'm already considered a violent offender, so it ain't going to go good for me. It's just not. I got Christmas ornaments, little plastic ones, because I'm cheap. And Klaus Daniels likes to rip them all off the tree. I came out here. He had a little pile of cat toys all huddled up. It was like his prized possessions. And then he just looks at me all starry-eyed like Puss in Boots. Like I was going to take his treasures away. Just a mean dad. Shepard, the only time out I got as a kid was when I was dodging belt strikes. I'm saying. Yep. I mean, I think even timeout can be effective. I mean, I know you can't swat your kids and stuff anymore, and sometimes you need to. But I feel like we lost timeout and went to grounding. And the way that world works now, all the kid wants to do is sit in the room and stare at this. Well, they're grounding themselves. So you're going to ground them, and that's going to matter? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Grounding your kids doesn't matter until they're a teenager and they can leave the house. If your kid isn't 15, between 13 and grown, grounding them's not going to work, because that's when they want to leave the house. They want to be with their friends. Their buddies are going to the park. They're going to the movies. They're going wherever they're going, and they want to go too. Well, you can't, Timmy. You're grounded. You know, that's when it matters. If your kid's 12 and sits inside and plays video games all day and does nothing, and you're like, oh, you're grounded, they're like, whatever. Call you the B word 3, 4, 5 times. Because what do? Ground them? That doesn't matter. You swat them. You stick them in the corner until their knees are weak. They start talking to you right. But you got to lay that law down, because if you don't, they'll grow up to be inmates. That's what happens. Inmates or Antifa. Either way, they're going to be putting stuff in their mouth. That's what it sounds like. You know, you don't want that for your kids. I don't want that for your kids. We got to make sure we're raising our kids right. We got to have proud Americans growing up here. Trying to think if I have anything else on the list. We're just going off about raising respectable young adults. It's good. It's good stuff. Shanti, just subscribe to Klaus. You're awesome. I will be posting more Klaus videos soon. I'm trying. The Coffee with Hooligans is a new thing. I'm really excited about it. This is, to me, feels like my dream job. We're sitting here with cats on the screen talking about nonsense that I believe in. And we're having good conversation, I believe. And there's coffee. And that's, you know, that's always good. But yeah, I will be getting some more Klaus Daniels videos out, and I'm even considering doing like a night show. I don't know if we're going to. I don't want to burn myself out. If I burn myself out, I'll just disappear for like a month and I won't get out of bed and all this stuff. So I can't do that. But I would like to do a night show. Kind of like Coffee with Hooligans at night. We'll call it something better than that. But I'm considering it. Definitely let me know your thoughts about that idea in the chat or on Gilded. Red, I believe, brought it up, and we talked about it yesterday on Gilded. Everybody should join Gilded, actually. Find the Linktree link. Maybe Snooks will be kind enough to post the Gilded link in the chat. But definitely join Gilded. Gilded is the best way to be notified every single time we go live, no matter where we go live. It's the best way to stay up to date with events going on, things going on with me, things going on with the Hooligans, things I'm finding. You'll get exclusive news. We have a news board for you to stay up to date with everything going on around the world, and tons of other free resources. So definitely join Gilded. You can either get the app and then click the link, and it will join you to my server from the app, and then you'll receive notifications on your phone, or you can access it through the website on a computer, through, and there's a few other Hooligans that prefer it that way. It's all up to you, but it is free, so definitely join Gilded. Rasta, same thing in Florida. I thought in Florida you had like a stand your ground law. If somebody was coming for you, you could stand your ground. Because we don't have that. We have no self-defense, no stand your ground, no protect your castle, nothing. They want criminals to come just do terrible things to you, and you can be a victim and scream out, "Help me, government! Help me, government! I can't stand on my own. Pay my bills and fight my fights." Yeah, that's exactly what the government wants. We don't need that. We're Americans. We got this. Shouldn't even say we're Americans. We got Canadians in the chat and everything else. We're freedom lovers. That's what we are. Proud freedom lovers. Edward, Hooligans After Dark. That's what I was thinking, but I'm worried that one, it may come off a little bit more explicit than YouTube will allow. And two, I think people will get too excited thinking there's actually riots on the screen, and I don't want to disappoint anyone. But I am considering names. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Rasta, I used to turn off the power if they got sent to their room. When I was younger, and my dad would ground me, and I was like 15. It was the first time I'd been grounded. My mom had been like slapping my teeth down my throat my whole life. So then when I was like 15 and he grounded me, I'm like, what is being grounded. If you're not gonna slap me across the face with the steel end of a belt, you ain't hurting me. And he was like, yeah, you ain't coming out of this room. Took everything out of the room, light bulbs and everything. I was sitting there in the dark, mad as hell. Grounded. Hardcore grounded. That's why I said it's effective. If you're old enough to leave the house, it's effective. But yeah, being stuck in your room with no power, that's one way to do it. GC, just say family friendly and no one will question it. Maybe if I put like drag show or like what else can we say? Oh, let's prevent climate change. We'll just put that on the front, and then we'll just slide right through. YouTube would be like, these guys are good. Let us right in. Ohio Kyle, I got grounded outside of the house. That's how my grandma did it. Yeah, that's how my grandma did it. She was like, guess what? Better not see your ass in the house until it's dark outside. But when it is dark outside and you see those street lights on, you better be here in the yard. I'm like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I think that's why I'm a people pleaser now. I had to live up to grandma's expectations. And I tried. I always wondered what it'd be like, because my grandma and my grandpa, who both of them raised me, even though they're divorced my whole life, separated and always talk crap about each other, I always wondered what they would say if they could see me now, out here running live with a bunch of hooligans. And most of like what's put together here is because of the way that they impressioned me while I was growing up. And I think that they would really get a kick out of hearing all the stuff we talk about and what it's become. It's interesting. I think about it every day. Debacles, Hooligan story time hour. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. The story time, we'll call it lullabies. Lullabies with hooligans. Maybe bedtime stories with hooligans. We're getting there. You see, this is good brainstorming we got going on. Red, go to the backyard and stay there. Yeah. Back in the 80s and 90s, you just got treated like one of the pets. But we survived it, made us tough. I'd like to think so, cool guy. DK, my grandmother was like my mother. Yeah, I spent most of the school year with my grandma, going to school and stuff like that. And then in the summertime, I go with my grandpa and we'd go up to Ludington and stuff. So I've been like traveling to Ludington my whole life. But I only lived there for a short period of time. Dharma Agent. Hooligan Nightcap. That's a good one. Adrian, these kitties are great. Yeah, I figured we'd throw some cats on the screen. The owls are hanging. The eagle was hanging out in its nest, but I don't know if they had a toddler working the camera or what. Thank you so much, Sam, for the $25 donation on Odyssey. I really appreciate you. And Merry Christmas. Thank you. Happy Freedom Send. Welcome to Live. Oh, I must be just boring everybody on Rumble. We only got 12 people on Rumble. No mandates. When dad said, I'm gonna whoop your ass, then it meant something. Now kids don't fear their dads because their dads are full of soy now. Half their dads are actually not dudes, and that are in jail, unfortunately. I mentioned that on another Coffee with Hooligans, is the way life is structured is to just totally break up the family. You know, not make dudes flamboyant and not dudes. I'm trying to say this a way that I don't get banned. Make women independent, which means loose, obnoxious, disrespectful. That's how they icon it, right? Like look at what is her name? Cardi B, right? Idolizing women behavior like that. And then all the kids are being indoctrinated at school and stuff like that. And it's totally destroying the family. People in the household don't eat together. They don't hang out together. Everybody's staring at their phone. And they're walking their own path separately, just in the same house together. They're not united as a family anymore. And so you don't have family morals anymore. You know, when you were a kid and you were like, oh, that seems cool, but my dad would never let me do that. Or my mom would whoop my ass if I got caught doing that. Kids don't say that now because they're not a part of the family. They're on their own. And the parents are all independently on their own. And it's breaking down the structure. And I don't know. It's not good. We're all we got. And we're all in this together. And the sooner we can realize that and stop falling for the nonsense, the better off we'll be. Like I keep saying, you know, the whole red team, blue team thing is foolish because in all reality, we're all eating shit together. And as soon as we can realize that, we're not going to idolize the stuff we see on the screen anymore. We'll just be happy to have each other. And I hope we get to a point where that happens instead of being devolved to that kind of point. You know, when they take everything from us, we can't purchase things on our own. We can't speak openly. We have nothing and we have to be happy about it. You won't even know who's red team and blue team anymore. We'll be stripped of everything. We will literally have nothing but each other. Like when you're like, you know, back in the World War when they were in the camps and stuff, you think they cared about their differences? No. Half those people were like naked, huddling together, praying to God that they would make it out alive. They were not worried about whether or not you put pineapple on your pizza or any stupid stuff like that. They were not worried about being divided. They were figuring out how to be united in the poorest human form known to man. And we will end up there again if we allow it, but we don't have to. We could just be happy that each other's different, take it as being interesting instead of offensive, and just find a way to unite or at very least get along. Because the whole division thing makes no sense. Half the stuff that we divide about are ideas that we didn't even have. We saw something, we agreed with it or disagreed with it, we picked a team, and now we hate the other team for ideas and thoughts that we didn't create ourselves. We saw it, we learned it, we adapted, and now we enforce it. And we don't have to. These are not our original ideas. It's stupid. It's stupid. We should unite. We should unite, just like all of us have here in the hooligan community. I don't know. You guys are amazing. I don't know what else to say. I think we have covered everything. Edward, family's not about blood. It's about love and community. Absolutely. That's what's good about the community is most of us are not blood related. If not all of us are not blood related. So that means we have no obligation to stay together. We stay together because we choose to. Because it's better this way. For all of us. Not because we're told that. Because we feel it. That's why we're here. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm going to read through the chat really quick, check my notes, make sure I cover everything. This potentially could be the last live of the day, unless something random pops up. There's nothing else on the schedule. We have no more White House stuff. I will see about doing a night show. I don't want to burn myself out. I know it could be fun, but I don't want to make people think it's going to be a daily thing where I'm running 2 shows guaranteed for an hour plus with no idea of what we're going to talk about other than just winging it as soon as I click the go live button. Once a day right now is going good. I do want to do a night show. We're going to work on it. Okay. No promises, but we're going to work on it. So let me run through this really quick. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance just in case this is the last chat or the last live of the day. So at least stick around for that while I'm reading through the chat here. Nikki made it into Gilded. Awesome. I will see you there. Oh, I appreciate you, Ocean Frog. I appreciate all of you hooligans. You guys are so amazing. Thank you, Real Assistant. I move in a weird way. If I was to ever guest on Crowder or any of those people, the best way to run the show is to not tell me what we're going to do. Because as soon as you tell me what we're going to do, I'm going to write it on a list. I'm going to go through that list as fast as possible, and then I'm going to sit here and have a panic attack with the biggest smile on my face, and no one's going to know that I'm going through it. But if I don't know what's going on, I'm so interested in everything happening. I'm just excited to be here as you guys are, and that's how we're doing it. Winging it. Lone Wolf, how is it Friday already? I know. Time passes quick. quickly, especially with the Coffee with Hooligans. It's like I get done with the live, and then the rest of the day I just kind of look for content for tomorrow's live. And then next thing you know, it's the weekend, and it just, time flies so fast. Rasta, you're omnipresent. You're on all the platforms. All right, last two things. If you would like to send me something for Christmas, I know I just made this post everywhere, but for anyone that didn't see it, if you would like to send me something for Christmas, I'm going to do a Christmas unboxing. I'm going to hold everything I get between now and 2 weeks after Christmas. And we're going to run a live. We're going to open everything live and do shout outs and all that stuff. So if you would like to send me something, send me an email to jeffmacmusic@yahoo.com. You can get the email, I think, at the very bottom of the link tree. You can also find it in the description on any of the platforms you're watching right now. But send me an email requesting the P.O. Box. I'll send you the P.O. Box number, and you can let me know the tracking number and stuff. That way I can track it down and we don't have no issues with the post office. And then I will hold on to it until the unboxing day. If you would like to go a simpler route than that, you can find the Amazon wish list on the link tree. Anything you purchase on the list, as long as you make the purchase through the list itself, they'll just mail it to me automatically. You won't have to worry about seeking information or anything like that. It's probably the easiest way. Because of that, I have thrown some coffee mugs up there today. I am drinking out of a nice American Freedom cup that I received, or a mug rather, that I received from WMM's mom for Christmas, or maybe it was my birthday, I can't remember, last year. But because of Coffee with Hooligans, I put a bunch of mugs up on the Amazon wish list that you guys could send my way if you would like to, and then we can show them off during Coffee with Hooligans every day. So yeah, Christmas unboxing. We'll do that 2 weeks after Christmas, and we'll announce the day when we get closer to it. And finally, I would like to raise some awareness to the shelf guy. I'm going to put this link in the chat right now. All right, so the shelf guy is a hooligan. It's Livid Review. Hope you're watching, bud. He is running a business here. Does very nice work, as you can see on his website. I just posted the link in the chat. I'm going to post it in all the chats here in a second. But he is looking for some hooligans that need some work done. So if you guys would like to hit him up, the number's right there in the corner. Also, I'm providing the link here in a second. I did drop it in the YouTube chat, but I got to drop it in all of them. If you guys are looking for some work, or you'd like to talk to him about the possibilities, definitely hit him up. Let him know you're interested. He's been reaching out through me, letting me know that he would love to have some hooligans get some work from him. If you use the keyword hooligan, you get 10% off. Let me see. Boom, right there. Using the code hooligan, you will get 10% off your order. So definitely hit him up and let him know that you're interested. I'm going to post a link in the chat real quick. All right, so I just dropped his website link in all the chats. Definitely go check it out when you get a second. He is an official hooligan. And like I said, if you use the code hooligan, you'll get 10% off your order. All right, we are going to do the Pledge of Allegiance now. I've been listening to those beats for years, and I still jam out to them. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, hooligans. Well, that is that for now. I'm going to read through the chat again real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. As far as I know, this is going to be the last live of the day. If I do change my mind or we do come across something interesting, I will go live and get a hold of you guys. Gilded and Discord and Telegram is usually the first ones to know about it. Everybody else won't know until we actually go live, and then I'll drop the notifications everywhere. But I do believe this is going to be it. Just reading through the chat real quick. Real assistant, so cool, all the H's. Yeah. It's a full hooligan chat right now. Everybody's official. Thank you guys so much for gifting those memberships over on YouTube. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, Snooks, IB4, Red, all you guys. So awesome. DK, I think I missed your super chat. Thank you so much, DK, for the donation. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, hooligans. I think that's that. I think we covered everything. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Like I said, if we see anything interesting, we will go live again. But as right now, this is it. So big shout out to everyone that made donations. Join the membership program or purchase any merch. I appreciate all of you, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you guys so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.